Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my video. Today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic, and that's root motion. We will look into what root motion is and how it can make our player movement much more smoother and more realistic. Before we start, if you have ever used the Mixamo animation library, you might have noticed that the player animations often move from their original position. If we use these animations directly in our game, it causes unwanted shifting of player position, which doesn't look good. In many times, we wonder why Mixamo adds this position shifting. To fix this, we usually tick the in place option and then manually write scripts in the game engine to move the player. However, this approach can make managing the player's speed and achieving smooth animations much more complex. But if you want realistic movement, we shouldn't tick up the in place option. Instead, we should enable the root motion, which helps make player movement look more realistic. Nowadays, most of the video games use root motion because it makes the movement feel natural. So let's dive into the video and see how root motion actually helps. I will explain root motion with two examples. In both examples, I will use the same animation and both characters will cover same distance. Although it's very challenging and hard to move the player to the exact same distance using scripts, but let's assume we have written the code that does this. Even then, you will notice a difference between both of these approaches. In the first example, the bottom character's animation has the in-place option ticked, and it moved manually through scripting. In the second example, the top green character uses root motion. When you compare the both, the characters using root motion appears to have more natural movement. In real, the player never moves at a constant speed. They might speed up or slow down at different times. It's difficult to achieve the same natural behavior using script manually, but root motion makes it easy and efficient. So let's see the root motion concept. Understanding the concept of root motion is also important. In typical character rig, there is a main bone, often called as hip bone, which indicates the character position. However, in root motion, there is an additional bone, and that's called root bone. The root bone controls the player position and certain axis of rotations, while the hip bone stores other data like root bone's location, its rotation, scaling, and other factors. So next, let's see the benefits of root motion. The first benefit is realistic movement. Animations aren't always at uniform speed. Some animations are slower while the other are faster. Root motion handles this naturally and moves the player slow and fast. The second point is less coding. The player's natural movement is synced with the animation, reducing the need for manual code written for movement. And the third point, which is a bit related to the first, that's speed blending between animation. When a player slows down from running or transition from walking to stop, it's challenging to script the exact same speed blending, while root motion makes this transition very easy. So does that mean we need to use root motion for our games? Not really. Root motion isn't necessary for every game. If your game has basic play movement, in-place animation might be sufficient. But if your game involves dynamic speed, complex animation, parkour, fighting scenes, or some cinematic cutscenes, root motion is the best approach. So friends, that's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching my video. If you have any questions, you can comment me below. Do like the tutorial, do comment, do subscribe, and always have a great day.